Well, it is a Sunday afternoon, and I am in the office getting things ready for a busy week for our law firm in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Was with my son this morning in North Jersey for a hockey tournament. Now I'm trying to catch up on some work for a busy week for our firm in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. With that said, I did come up with a blog article regarding the recent updates to the gun laws in New Jersey. The additions made to the laws have to do with primarily what the state has deemed gun safety issues, making it a little more difficult to obtain a gun or firearm in New Jersey. In addition, it has placed some additional restrictions on the sale and just the trafficking of firearms through New Jersey. It also has to do with tracing firearms. So a lot of was put in place this week by Governor Murphy signing that. Those laws into place have to do with gun safety, not necessarily people were assuming that there'd be something with regards to mandatory minimum sentencing and the illegal possession of guns or firearms in New Jersey. These updates have nothing to do with the illegal possession or the illegal sale of firearms. It had more to do with the fact that the state is concerned about just guns in general in the state. And I did a blog article where I cited the recent mass shootings in the country. I don't necessarily agree with everything that New Jersey's done, but the laws have passed in New Jersey. Pennsylvania, unlike New Jersey, is much more liberal with regards to the granting of permits to carry. Pennsylvania, unlike New Jersey, has really no mandatory minimum sentencing with regards to the illegal possession or the possession without a permit to carry a handgun or a firearm. But nevertheless, Pennsylvania does have mandatory minimum sentencing with regards to straw purchases. So I don't want to make it seem like the Commonwealth is just soft on guns. They certainly aren't. But obviously, New Jersey has some of the toughest gun laws in the country, and the recent updates of the law simply make them more stringent. With that said, in addition, came out with some blog articles regarding search and seizure. We know that in the summer months, particularly, we see an uptick of criminal offenses both in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. One of the primary issues that we see in these cases, anytime we're dealing with a possessory crime or a crime involving contraband, whether it be illegal drugs or narcotics, the issue of illegal search and seizure comes up. It's a pretrial issue. Remember that if your criminal defense lawyer does not bring it up at the pretrial level, he or she has waived that issue. And often that is the strongest argument you have, because if the case goes to trial and that evidence comes into court, really your attorney is left with a actual versus constructive possession argument, and often those are a lot weaker than an argument with regards to legal search and seizure. So keep that back in your mind. I will be coming out with more articles this summer regarding DUI, DWI in New Jersey, DUI in Pennsylvania. I'll put out some more content with regards to traffic. We don't do a lot of traffic at our law firm, but it is a hot topic both in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We will obviously want to keep our clients informed. The summer months, there's an increased highway patrol both in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So we want to make people aware of what's happening in the state. But again, if you have questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Did come out with some articles regarding Brittney Griner. It was highlighted in my e-update, which went out to over 4,000 of our current and former clients in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. In that blog article, I detail really, we really shouldn't have an issue with what happened in Russia. Brittney Griner broke the law, and now she faces the consequences. And I'm really tired of these sports analysts giving their opinion on a legal topic, when in reality, she didn't have any trial defense. And really, the problem people have is with the punishment that she could receive. But Brittney Griner, she's not innocent. So we have to stop acting like she is being somehow persecuted. I've heard that word used. She's not being persecuted. She committed a crime in a different country. The laws are much different. And she made really the mistake. And I'm not sure if it was a mistake. It was simply pure arrogance on her part. And now she expects the US government to get her out of trouble. But I use the example, if someone from Russia came to this country and committed a crime, would we have an issue with the Russian government saying, hey, give us our person back because we don't agree with your mandatory minimum sentence? We wouldn't. I mean, we would say, no, you committed a crime. That's our law. You violated it and you face the consequences. So I believe that eventually she will get back. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but I think within the next 6 months, she'll be back in this country. But again, she's fortunate of who she is and that she has some really people in the news who are kind of fighting for her cause. If she was just Joe Q average, she'd be in Russia for the duration. And, if eventually she got out, it was because she served her sentence. But I wish people would stop acting like she is some political cause that needs to be championed. She's not. She broke the law. She knew the consequences, or she should have known the consequences, or she made the very poor assumption that it wasn't a big deal. And that's just something that can't happen if you're traveling overseas, especially in a country like Russia. I mean, one of the things that you should always be aware of is their law. So again, we're here to help, but I'm not going to simply sugarcoat something and say that she isn't at fault here. She certainly is. And any sports analyst, I hate to say this, but stick to sports. Do what you do. Worry about that. Don't interject your opinion into something that you have no idea, you have no basis of. Don't give your opinion on something that just simply isn't your area. I don't comment on sports. Don't comment on the law. You're not a lawyer. So please stick to sports. Brittney Griner, it's a legal issue. It isn't a sports issue. It's not a political issue. It's a legal issue. And at the end of the day, she didn't have a trial argument. And she pled guilty just like most people would do in that situation because she didn't have an argument. So once again, if you have questions, a legal question, if you have a sports question, call the sports talk show host. I think today I was driving and someone compared Tony D'Angelo to Michael Vick. And again, this is something that, again, it's somewhat of a legal issue here. Michael Vick, I mean, I hate to pick on the guy, but he's a convicted felon. He went to a federal prison. And Tony D'Angelo, I'm not sticking up for him, but he didn't commit a crime. Did he say things that were allegedly racist? Or maybe not allegedly, just flat out racist? Yes. But Tony D'Angelo is not a convicted felon. And for this, I think it was a guy by the name of Jody McDonald. He somehow used Michael Vick and Tony D'Angelo in the same breath. And I said, this guy's a convicted felon. He went to prison. Yeah, he's on TV now, but he's a convicted felon. To say that these guys are on the equal footing is simply ridiculous. And again, I don't know the guy, Jody McDonald, but he's a sports host. Stick to sports. Don't make comment on things that you have no idea what you're talking about. The guy's a convicted felon. There is just no comparison to that with making some inappropriate or even racist statements. That's not a crime. What Michael Vick did, he went to federal prison. He served, I think it was like 2 years. So once again, stick to your lane. But if you have questions, legal questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you all very soon.